What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first installment on its own of
G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe.
Yo, Joe! And basically, what I'm doing with G.I. Joe is no secret. If you watch Soapbox, the segment on my channel, pretty regularly, you know that G.I. Joe is a star. It pretty much has picked up its legs and started walking by itself. And what this is basically G.I. Joe will still be in Soapbox, but I'm kind of almost doing like Vlad TV or a lot of vloggers, which they'll have a full interview, but they'll chop it up and just spread their content a little bit more. And that's what I'm gonna do with G.I. Joe going forward, especially into the new year. I'm gonna release it out on its own, let it float out in its own little segment bite, but then it'll also still be in Soapbox. And that's for people who probably don't want to see everything I'm talking about on Soapbox and just want to see G.I. Joe as G.I. Joe. And that's also for people who want to look at G.I. Joe as G.I. Joe first, and then later on watch Soapbox when they're sitting down somewhere, because I tend to run those pretty long, and I do it on purpose. I give you the fatty calf. Eat from the fatty calf, says the Lord. But that's what I try to give you on that. But it's a perfect time to do it today with G.I. Joe versus G.I. Joe 00, like Snake Eyes, because I missed a few things earlier. My computer was acting funny. I had to dump out a lot of stuff. My disc was full. And what I did show but did not talk about, and let's jump right into it, is Retro Scarlet and Retro Duke. They look really good. I'm glad I never opened up my Retro Scarlet. I mean, not Retro, my regular Scarlet. I just kind of got that archived. That's cool. This retro one is what you're looking for. I think she's gonna fit in great with the classified line, especially from that Glinda buck, which was awesome. And she looks good. Her deco looks good. She looks true to form. She looks like the classic Scarlet from the comics, but also with the just a little bit of updated of the classified line. So up here you have the prototypes. Well, not even, I guess, necessarily prototypes anymore. You pretty much have it ready to go out. If you pay attention to the double Scarlet picture that I have, you see one has lipstick, one doesn't. So they're still trying to work it out, but that is the packaging. And hopefully they have those hard card stocks this time, so you can hang something like that on the wall. That looks beautiful. That looks like the 3 3/4 just blown up and done right the way it's supposed to. I believe she has a crossbow and all her little attachments, and she looks good. I told myself 6 months ago, I said I'm not gonna open up my Scarlet. I'll wait for the retro card. I'm almost confident that's going to be a really good release, and it looks solid. It looks really in the pocket. And then also, I didn't talk about Retro Duke, which he's a stud. He's John Wayne right there. He looks really good. And the cool thing about it though is the older versions, like I like that other Duke. I like this one better. Don't get it twisted. This retro one on this card back looks phenomenal. He's right in the pocket. His body, everything fits to the way classified is now. But the older ones are cool, and I like the younger take they had on. So you can play that off in your imagination as, okay, this is Duke's son, or this is really Duke's younger brother, not Falcon punk ass, and actually look like Duke, or just anything, or you have that as your Duke and have this other Duke as Senior Duke, or just somebody else, man. But it's still a great figure, and you can still put that into motion. But let's not kid ourselves. This is Duke right here. This is what you want when you're looking for Duke. This is what you think of when you look at Duke. So who knows when these retro cards are coming out? If they're showing like this, they're overseas or whatnot, they should be hitting stateside soon. Also earlier I talked about the 60th anniversary, and this recon diver looks freaking amazing. I can't wait to army build this thing. Hopefully I can catch it on a clearance. And the soldier is cool too, but out of those two, I like the G.I. Joe diver. That looks like something really nice that can go up against the Cobra Eels. And then a cool figure already is Torpedo, which I just picked up this week. What else didn't I talk about earlier? DCPI. This is the DCPI list right here. I got off a guy from Facebook that's actually helped me out get the Trouble Bubble and Copperhead, because my target had those figures, but they were not on the pegs. So I told those DCPI numbers to the people, and they went back there and they got them willingly. So that was cool. So I think the biggest thing now, Python Patrol, they might be kind of coming out on everybody's shelves now, but the new wave that's going to consist of Airborne and I believe Alpine, they have that up there. So you want to hold on to these so you can ask around, because those DCPI numbers do work pretty good. Also, if you haven't checked out my Python Patrol Trouble Bubble video, I actually had that Trouble Bubble and I have the regular one. I actually switched the canopies on those, and it looks phenomenal, man. It actually looks really good. I think the tint really makes the regular one shine, and then the Python Patrol Trouble Bubble is so flamboyant, the clear bubble doesn't take away from that. It actually almost kind of enhances it, shows off the other features on it. But if you're interested in that, those canopies will switch, and if you haven't checked out my video, check it out.
G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe.
And there's some things that's been showing up. I don't know if this is through AliExpress or whatnot, but as far as Big Boa, he looks like a big figure. He has a lot of cool things with him. Has some weights, has some Cobra gloves with insignias on them, Cobra insignias, and he kind of has that Italian kind of Rocky Balboa look. Is he a favorite of mine? No, but he definitely is interesting, and I can't wait to see just how he looks. I'm really intrigued on Big Boa, so we'll see what's up. But 60th anniversary packs and Big Boa has showed up at AliExpress or one of them overseas sites, man. So they should be stateside within a couple of months, I would say. Also, people have been talking about Mezco's Destro. Mezco's Destro took almost 2+ years to come out. I had him on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store, even put some money down, but a long time ago. I'm talking about like 7-8 months ago. I cut that off. I just took the $20 loss and was like, hey, I don't care. And he looks decent, but after a while looking at him, I was like, do I really want this? As far as Mezco with their G.I. Joes, I got Destro, and I really like him, and I'm looking forward for Firefly to come. But that's not a line I definitely need to get multiple figures in, like the whole set. I think I'm just pick and choose. Same thing with Super 7. I have picked up none of their ultimates, but I'm thinking about Major Blood and a Doc. I like the way Doc looks. I might pick Doc up just to have it, but it's definitely not a completionist line. The only thing I'm trying to complete is G.I. Joe Classified. But on the picture here, it looks like they have just some matchups versus Classified and some other ones, man. But he looks pretty straight here. I know I'm satisfied with Destro, but it's something that was just finally left my radar. But it's cool that we have plenty of G.I. Joe to choose from. Also, two figures that have popped back up on my radar, and I think I'm trying to dive in and see what's going on, are the Range Viper from Walmart and Big Ben. The story on the Range Viper and Big Ben, I did an episode on it way back in March, and I got my pre-orders in. But Walmart took forever to make that thing go down, and I cut them off. I dropped my pre-orders maybe like in August. I was like, yo, the hell with it. I'll catch up with them, which I will too. I will catch up with them. But I had Big Ben. He popped back up at Walmart like in October. Paid for me. I believe I paid for it. Well, basically he was in stock. I got him. They said they were supposed to deliver. That's what happened one day. Like, just say if it was September 15th, they said they was going to deliver them September 18th. Well, that day came and left. And then it was, next thing you know, it was like a week later. Then I just canceled the order, man. So I kind of missed out on him, and I was really looking forward to him. I really wish I would have just kind of stuck out with that. But who knows? They probably would have sent me a wrong figure. If they had been sitting it by then, they probably didn't have it. So I'm not even gonna play that game and wait on them. And then they send me a fucking retrovac Scarlet and shit. I'm be upset about that. But they're on my hunt, and I don't know what the deal is with them, but they're nowhere to be seen. I know me, the way I be all over the state, the way I hunt, I'll eventually come across them, but they're back on my radar. I don't care if I can't get multiples of the Range Viper or Big Ben. I definitely need those two for the men on card for the 1 through 100, because I checked the other day, MCU Collector has a great list, and I'm missing 13 Joes as far as 1 through 100. I did a lot of cleanup on the, you'll see on weekly pickups, but definitely need those two guys and a few more others, but they're kind of more the scarcity out of everybody right now. The Range Viper and Big Ben, where are you? Also, which is something huge that just showed up. Actually, I was just talking about this a couple of weeks ago. The Marauders Barbecue is starting to show up at Ross. So definitely, if you have not got him and you are interested in him now, definitely you can go out and go get him. Me, I haven't found nothing at Ross, and let me stop lying. I have found stuff at Ross. It just wasn't what I was looking for as far as classified. I haven't found those 3-pack Vipers. Never seen a Duke at my Ross. We got a couple here in town, but I haven't seen them. But I have found other things. But they're showing up at Ross. The Croc Master and the Marauders Barbecue is showing up at Ross now. Just been seeing reports of that. And also Tigerback Outback Tiger Force Outback. I ain't know. I was about to say I want my baby back. But Tiger Force Outback is showing up at Ross also too, and that is a figure worth buying. Most really all 3 of those figures, because one, if you find a Croc Master at Ross, I'm definitely going for the Gators. I don't care if I got 10 Gators. I really would like to have 10 of those, what her name's Fiona, 10 Fionas. I got 2 already, but I would like to have 8 more. Also Marauders Barbecue, good figure to pick up if you want to pick up another one to take his pants off and start making some other Marauders like Spirit, you know, or whatnot. But you need the same top too. I could believe that they had darker tops, but you know, just for fodder. And then also Outback, he's a great, wonderful figure that if you ever want a male buck to kind of start basing bodies off of, you definitely want that Outback. And at $5, he's definitely worth the multiple picks. So start checking your Rosses. And Ross and Ollie's is actually splitting the bill on some things, which I'll get into later on with my weekly pickups. But yes, Ross and Ollie's, they're taking turns on selling out the Nick Trap. And last on the classified side, I just took a picture, man, just basically stating what a beautiful line G.I. Joe classified is, man. And they just continue to bang. I'm really in 2024 will really be sinking my teeth and just really into classified and G.I. Joe products and content, just kind of almost period, man. Now Marvel Legends side, I'm an X-Men guy, you know, henceforth the name of the channel Savage Land, but I never really got into this to say, oh, I'm particularly doing this. If you ever looked at my channel from the beginning, it's always been a different thing every video, man. It's not just one thing. Now I have caught on with some classified content and things of that nature, man, but I just really like G.I. Joe Classified. I think it's a great line. I like G.I. Joe, the whole property in general. Again, it's basically revived my my fondness of G.I. Joe, man. And to go and segue into that, Super 7 have gotten the license to do G.I. Joe O-rings. So Hasbro has passed the baton on, or passed the torch on, to Super 7 to do the O-rings. And I want to talk about this because it's coming from different angles. So as far as Super 7, they got the Cobra mothership, which I'm going to talk about that on a hot topic next week, because it's getting dangerously close to the end of that, and it really hasn't budged since it had that huge jump at the beginning. It's like 1455 now, and you have to get to 4000. But they had that Cobra mothership. Now that is not a standalone project, or I guess it's his name, Brian Flynn, like he said, an island of a project, which it was. It's just something sitting out by itself, almost kind of like the G.I. Joe Sky Striker for Hasbro when it dropped. There really wasn't a strong, it was a little bit of O-rings, but it was almost just kind of like a random thing there. But now that they have the O-ring license, and it sounds like they have it for a while, maybe 5 years to start off with, it seems like they're going to be making products. So that mothership has some purpose now, being that it's not just reaction, because everybody's not into those reactions. I know I brought a reaction, that Tiger Force shipwreck, but I'm not really trying to get into reaction. And my interest in O-rings has sparked back up. So being that they had that mothership, you have something to look forward to. Now what they said they're going to do is a bunch of different characters, and also do basically where Hasbro left off. Remember they had the cartoon Duke, the Sunbow Duke and Cobra Commander, because the toys were never made really straight up for the cartoon. They had it kind of own iteration, but they said they're going to lean towards that, more like their Ultimates line, which I think is pretty dope. They said they're going to be making some obscure characters that G.I. Joe's never touched, but you know that old line, they went to outer space they came back and was picking up trash and shit, fighting pollution. So I don't know what else they could do, but I'm interested in it, and I'm all for it. I actually like Super 7. A lot of people give them grief, but I understand their product. I understand what angle they're coming at, and not everything is going to be crazy articulated, but I understand. Like that Ninja Turtles line brought me into it with the Playmates remakes of the Ninja Turtles line. I totally understand it, and I haven't never had no serious QC issues with them at all, but I'm fully confident that they could do a fun G.I. Joe line. And I can't wait to see how they're gonna bring it. And then the thing with Super 7 is they're not scared to make vehicles. How much would they cost? That's another thing. And then they was talking about the Joes would be at about $20 a piece, which I really wish they could get them down to 15. But the thing about Super 7 is they'll drop a sale on you when they can't pump it out. So Joes start at 20. There's a lot of times you can probably get Joes for 10 or 15 once they go on sale. Now, should you bank on a line just coming out immediately with clearance? No, but it probably will happen in some shape, form, or fashion, whether it's a lot or a little bit. Some of their figures will go on clearance. You see it now with the ones online and the ones that are on the pegs, especially the reaction figures. When they sit, Target will definitely get rid of them. Like that Shipwreck, that Tiger Force Shipwreck, I brought for $5, and that's a pretty cool figure, but I wasn't gonna pay $20 for it. Well, with the O-rings, pretty much the same ordeal, but just has a little bit more articulation. So I'm really interested. I'm really intrigued to see what they're gonna do with that. Just the way they pump out characters, they're not scared to go deep. So they will probably end up putting out some characters that were like, okay, wow, I didn't know that was never made. Just like this Cobra Mothership. I hope that gets made, really. Once again, I'll put a plug in for it. If you don't have the money in there, I'm gonna do the Affirm situation. Pay my $50 a month, for 10 months, and then I got it or whatnot, man. But I definitely want it. If it goes through, that's awesome. If it doesn't, oh well. The O-rings and the smaller Joes is about to be my secondary passion going forward. Because like I said, I have a video up online where I was like, O-rings are a thing in the past, and they are. When I was saying that, it was making it seem like there should be O-rings and nothing else. No, it shouldn't be. It should be the 4-inch, and of course classified also. Because O-rings are outdated. It's a nostalgia type ordeal, and I don't mind having the O-rings when I have a buffet of other G.I. Joe products. And henceforth, it's 2+ years since I made that video. I think it was wide back to G.I. Joe Sky Striker or whatnot, somewhere around that time. But we have a buffet of G.I. Joe from Mezco to 3-0, from Super 7 to Hasbro, of course, Haya Toys, of course, and there's some other ones lingering out there, but we have plenty of G.I. Joe to consume, man. But yeah, Super 7 is making O-rings, and I just can't wait to see what they're gonna pull out on that. They should also be out fall 2024. So if this Cobra Mothership funds, that first wave of figures will be dropping around the same time that Cobra Mothership takes flight, if it does.